Hello people of BookTube, Megan here, and time for an unhaul video. I feel it has been forever since I've either done a haul or an unhaul. So I got a couple bags of books here that I am planning to take to my local used bookstore, and it is a little painful for me to see some of these go, but a lot of them are books that either I have no interest in reading or rereading, books that I enjoyed but can't justify keeping because I don't think I'm gonna reread them again. And yeah, not having a lot of space for books is painful, and I'd much rather see these books find a new home with someone who will enjoy them more than I am at the moment. So let's get into this. The first book I have in this unhaul video is Never Ever by Sarah Sadie, and unfortunately this is a book that I have not read, but it's been on my shelf for a while now, and I have made no move to go pick it up. I believe it's like a Peter Pan retelling of some sort, and I haven't been reaching for it. And I believe I bought this soon after it came out in 2016, and it's been long enough for me to feel that I should just unhaul it, give it to the used bookstore so someone who might have more interest in it can get their hands on it. Next I have The Forbidden Wish by Jessica Corey, I think is how you say her last name, and from my understanding it's kind of like an Aladdin type retelling. Same situation as the previous book. I got it. It's been a while since I've had it. I haven't made any attempt to pick it up, so I'm gonna have to let it go. The next book is The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins. This I read. I did enjoy it, but I don't feel I enjoyed it enough to warrant keeping it. It's kind of a fantasy. Yeah, I'd consider it a fantasy. The main girl character is a princess. She is heir to the throne, and her country is being terrorized by this beast, and it's gone to the point where her father has offered her hand in marriage to the man who will be able to kill it. So there's this huge gathering of young men who wish to become the future king. And there's also magic involved, and it was a fun read. I really enjoyed it, but I just feel I didn't enjoy it enough to see myself rereading it anytime soon. So to the used bookstore it goes. Next time I look is The Last Descendants by Matthew J. Kirby. This I have not gotten a chance to read yet, but been on my shelf for a while. I do plan on reading it some point down the line, but I'll probably just end up getting it from the library. It's been sitting there for so long, it's time to let go. Next I have The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken. This is the first book in a duology. It's, I believe, considered middle grade. I read this for the reading rush. I really enjoyed it. I did, but I don't feel I enjoyed it enough to warrant keeping it, so I'm going to be giving it to the used bookstore so that someone else can enjoy it. But yeah, our main character, Prosper, some ancestor of his made a deal with a demon, and they broke their part of the agreement. The demon now wants revenge, and he's currently possessing Prosper, and just shenanigans. It was a fun read, but like I said, I don't think I enjoyed it enough to warrant keeping it, so to the used bookstore. This next book, I can feel the judgments coming my way. The next book is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, the first book in the Dark Edifices series. It is kind of painful giving this one up because I do enjoy Cassandra Clare's writing. I love her books. I love the Shadowhunter world. I thought this was a great addition to that world. And I do enjoy that we got different character perspectives in this book. As much as, Clary, Jason, everyone, I enjoy them. I feel after 6 books with them, their welcome felt a little overstayed, for lack of better words. But yeah, I did enjoy this. I do plan to continue on with the series, but this book, as well as the others in this series, are very long, very thick, and I can't see myself like constantly rereading this. So I'm giving it up. Gotta open up that shelf space. And if I do feel the urge to reread in the future, that's what the library is for. The next book on this list is a little bit of an exception to what I've said so far. It is Silence Fallen by Patricia Briggs. I somehow ended up with 2 copies of this. I don't need 2 copies. Giving this up to the used bookstore so that someone else can get their hands on this lovely copy. And next I have Marked in Flesh by Anne Bishop. This is another weird exception to this Unhaul. I found myself a hardcover copy of this, and I do prefer the hardcovers since I do bring books with me when I travel places, and in those kind of situations I strongly prefer hardcovers because I don't have to worry about like the cover or the back cover ripping or getting like super damaged. Just while they do take up more space, they're heavier, it sucks moving with hardcovers. I know that from experience. I do prefer them because when I take them to like work with me on flights, on train rides or whatever, I just feel more comfortable about them and them not getting damaged. So since I got myself my hardcover, this is going to the used bookstore. The next 3 books hurt my high school soul giving up, but just they're bulky and I haven't been reaching for them a lot lately, and they are the 3 Night World bind-ups by L.J. Smith. They each have 3 stories each in them, and just, it's been forever since I picked up or even considered picking up any of these. I wish I could hold on to them, but I just don't have the space, and if I don't have the urge to pick them up anytime soon, it feels like a waste of space. That, and since it seems like we aren't getting the final book in this series anytime soon, I don't feel the need to reread it anytime soon. And no, I'm not bitter at all by the fact that this series may never be finished. And next I have Graceling by Kristen Cashore. I think that's how her last name is said. This book I've had on my shelf for frickin' ever. It has been on my Goodreads to read shelf for frickin' ever. Since like 2014, I think. And it's time to give it up. As much as the premise still intrigues me, if I have not made any move to pick this up in that long, I probably am not gonna. It's probably not gonna happen. So time to just open up that shelf space. Next, I have The Bane Chronicles. I have read this. I love Magnus Bane. I enjoyed these stories and this little extra glimpse into his life, but probably not gonna pick it up to reread. It was nice getting that little view and like just seeing a little more of this world outside the Shadowhunter's point of view. But so doubtful I'm gonna reread it anytime soon, so time to give it up. The next 2 books are a part of the series. They are Divine by Mistake and Divine by Choice by PC Cast. Now, the premise for this series was pretty cool. I, somewhat enjoyed Divine by Mistake. Like, it was I can't say fun read, but I didn't hate it. But because, I didn't love it, kinda silly to hold on to it. I do remember I read the series years ago, and that's why I ended up buying it from the used bookstore. But after rereading this, it's like, didn't like it as much. And after looking into this one a bit more, there are some things I am uncomfortable with in this, and things that just turn me off from it. I don't know, I have no interest in continuing on. So, time to clear them out. Next 2 books are books 1 and 3 in a series. I was stupid enough to buy book 2, kind of glad I didn't. Just got from the library. I ended up DNFing this series at like book 5 or so. Just, they are Dark Fever and Fae Fever by Karen Marie Moning. And just, I like this series. For a while it was entertaining, but after a while the main character, Michaela, she got on my nerves after a while. And I tried to push through this series because I am the type of person who does like to see things through to the end if possible, but just, I couldn't do it. So, DNF'd it. Thankfully I only bought 2 books of the series, and those 2 books are now going to the used bookstore. Next on this list is Starling by Leslie Livingston. I keep stumbling over her last name, oh my god. But this book, from my knowledge of it, has some sort of influence of Norse mythology. I love mythology, and that's what drew me to buy this book to begin with. But after staring at my shelf for a while, looking for things that I don't feel a flicker of interest for anymore, this one jumped out at me, and I'm like, okay. I don't know, my interest in reading this has waned, and if I have no interest in reading a book, why should I keep it on my bookshelf? The next book on my list was something that I read in high school for summer reading, and one that I enjoyed at the time, but when I picked it up to reread recently, I didn't feel as drawn to it anymore, and it is The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls. The next book is also a memoir, and it is one that I bought for college. The only reason I kept it is because I would have gotten literally like $2 back if I sold it back to my college campus, and it's just like, why do I even want to put myself through the hassle for $2? I couldn't bring myself to warrant returning it just for such a small amount. So I'm like, I'll keep it, I guess. And it is Breaking Knife by Liz Murray. Because it's been on my shelf, I'm like, let's give this a reread, see how I feel. I, for some reason, could not finish it, despite the fact that when I first read it, I found it inspiring. Reading it now, I'm just like, okay, I'm bored. DNF. The next book on my list is The False Prince by Jennifer Nielsen. I don't even know what this is about. I don't even remember when I came into possession of this, but when I was going through my bookshelf for things to read, I started to try and read this, and I'm just like, not really drawing me in, don't want to waste my time with it, donation pile. This next book kind of brings me pain a little bit. I kind of want to keep it just for like nostalgia purposes, but I don't have the space to warrant that. And it is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I have no idea what happened to my other Harry Potter books. I don't know if they're still in storage or what, but for some reason this is the only one I have on my person right now. I have not picked up the Harry Potter series at all since this came out. And part of me wants to reread it just because Harry Potter was such a huge part of my childhood. It helped me through a very difficult time in my life. My dad was going through cancer, which he ultimately passed away from. I also was going through some bullying at school. I didn't have a lot of friends, as well as a move to a totally different part of the States where I knew no one. So I literally had no friends for a while, followed by my own battle against cancer the year before this came out. So yeah, the series helped me through a lot, but it's been, God, when did this one come out? 2007? Yeah, I think it was 2007. I have not picked it up in over 10 years. And part of me is afraid to pick it back up again, because now that I'm an adult and have read so much more since that time, I am more aware of the flaws in it. So I fear if I went back to reread it, my memories of it would be soured. So I'm just gonna leave it in the past and enjoy the fond memories I have of it. So, used bookstore. Next I have Heart of the Dragon by Gina Showalter. Yeah, it's a interesting read. The Tale of Atlantis always intrigued me. Our main guy character is a guardian of a portal into Atlantis. He is supposed to stop anyone from the Emperor world, our world, from entering in. Atlantis is the home of all the creatures that the gods deemed too dangerous for humans, like dragons and what have you. The premise was cool. The characters, they interest me enough, I guess, but don't plan on rereading this anytime soon. I don't plan to continue on with the series either. So, time to give this up to someone else. I should have had this one earlier in the video, but it was at the bottom of the bag. It is Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. Like the other book in this series, I managed to get my hand on a hardcover copy, so this is going to the used bookstore for someone else to have. And the final book in this is also something that I now own in hardcover, and thus it is going to the used bookstore, and it is Valiant by Holly Black. I'm just slowly trying to get like all my favorite books in hardcover. So yeah, that is it for my reasonably big unhaul. I feel like this is me getting rid of a lot of books. I mean, I still have so many more I gotta go through, but I feel this is a nice little dent. I feel the used bookstore will be happy to see all these. So yeah, that is it for this video, and I hope to see you guys next time.